Hi class, welcome to our week 3 assignment. What we're going to do is we're going to create a hypothetical company that just issued a $100 million corporate um, bonds. In there is that they're going to be issuing these bonds and they are taking on a project. I'm also going to provide you a sample paper. The sample paper isn't 100% perfect, but it's pretty good source for you to see how another student tackled the project and did a really good job on it, receiving a high grade. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about here is on this valuation model, it's hypothetical. You're making up everything. So the first thing you need to know is that you have to have four of the five or five of the five aspects of a bond. We need to know its maturity, how long it's going to be, the life of the bond. We need to know its coupon payment. We need to know its present value. We need to know its coupon. And we also need to know its coupon rate, and then we also have to know its future value, which is $1,000. And in here is what we're going to do is we're going to create this bond, and we're going to explain to them how it is important to understand how the company is issuing the bond. So the first thing here is you're developing a present valuation of the model. And the model says basically that it's going to be the same value, face value and present value are going to be the same. So we don't have to really worry about yield to maturity here. What we do have to talk about here is that you must have all those aspects of the bond to justify the reasoning for giving the market conditions. Now the next part of that, or the first part here in our first bullet point, is developing that valuation for the corporate debt with a face value of 100 million. The model should be hypothetical again, and it should include all the hypothetical rates that you have. You must select the maturity of the bond as well and explain all that and how it works and the payment structure for a company. So remember how the payment structure is that it'll pay the coupon annually, semi-annually, or when it's done, how it's going to pay back that lump sum of the $100 million. The next thing is to explain the possible determinants of the market for the rate. So here you're going to go ahead and you're going to look at how to explain the inflation rates in the economy that also impacted the market rate that you choose. Remember, you're choosing a market rate based off the market conditions. The last thing that I want you to look at is here, or one of the last things I need to look at is the market rate based off of the maturity. So if you believe the persuasive theory associated with the shape of the market interest rates across the maturity spectrum, so you have to explain the yield curve. The last thing I want you to do is all the different characteristics such as sinking fund, call provisions, different things that might adjust the value of a bond that go against the bond as well. Last thing I want to explain to you as well here is in our book is that we do have a weighted average cost of capital, and this is our formula that we got from the textbook as well. Now remember, on a debt aspect of it, we are taking 1 minus the tax, the corporate tax code. And why we're doing that is that the bonds provide a tax incentive. Okay, so if the interest rate's 5%, the real cost to the company is actually less, so projects can yield a lower return so that they can have a more positive cash flow on the corporation. So it's important to understand that as you're building this valuation as well, that the reason people choose bonds first is because, or debt, is because of the fact that they get to write it off with a taxes. Now, of course, if you have any questions or concerns, I'm always here to help.